Welcome to News York Times.
Please subscribe for more recent breaking news updates.
Trump just made stealth move against Sharia law in 18 states. This is huge. Anti-Sharia law legislation has been dominating state legislatures all across the country. No doubt emboldened by the president's support for his agendas and initiatives. In 2017 alone there were approximately 23 new pieces of legislation that were introduced in 18 various states that would crack down on Sharia law implementation in the United States. If taken into account collectively, that brings the total number of legislative efforts regarding anti-Sharia law legislation to a total of 217 in 43 different states over an 8-year period since 2010. All according to the Haas Institute at the University of California at Berkeley. The institute specifically records and monitors this type of legislation across the country. The Guardian reported. But Elsa Digelsk, director of the Global Justice Program at the Haas Institute that carried out the research, said the purpose of the bills was to spread fear about Muslims living in America and to portray them as untrustworthy and out of step with American values. Even if these bills do not become law, they help to subject Muslims to surveillance and other forms of exclusion and discrimination, he said. Of the 23 bills introduced to state legislatures this year, only 2 became law, in Arkansas and Texas. 4 new states joined the growing list of legislatures where anti-Sharia legislation has been attempted: Colorado, Connecticut, North Dakota, and Wisconsin. All but one of their bills were introduced by Republicans. The exception was in Idaho, where a committee with an unknown party affiliation was behind the move. Heidi Beirich, an expert on anti-Muslim hate groups at the Southern Poverty Law Center, sees the rash of state bills as signs that the provocative language coming out of Trump's circle is having an impact. At the state level, the #1 push for anti-Muslim activists is anti-Sharia bills. It's a recurrent effort. Trending, vets speechless after what they caught Trump's Navy SEAL secretary doing at memorial before sunrise. Trump himself called for all Muslims to be barred from entering the U.S. when he was a presidential candidate, a sentiment that he has only barely tempered in his drive for a travel ban on several majority Muslim countries. Several of the individuals he chose as key advisors also have a controversial track record. Steve Bannon, Trump's former chief strategist in the White House, once wrote a film script that warned of the country turning into the Islamic States of America. The short-lived national security advisor Michael Flynn called Islamism a vicious CR inside all Muslims that has to be excised, while former White House aide Sebastian Gorka was once fired by the FBI as a counter-terrorism lecturer for his Islamophobic views. The majority of the initial legislation came about after the backlash over the potential mosque that people wanted to create in downtown Manhattan, just blocks away from Ground Zero. Now the legislation is focusing on calling out foreign laws and how they should be banned in American court jurisdictions. A clear shot to Sharia law which is being implemented in certain areas of the United States. The Guardian continued on with the story. Given Trump's controversial leadership, some monitors had expected to see an even greater surge in the number of bills in 2017, which increased from 14 last year but did not reach the 2011 peak in the wake of the Manhattan controversy of 56 pieces of legislation, according to the Haas Institute. Given the support coming from the highest office in the land, we expected to see an even greater increase in anti-Sharia legislation at state level, Elshk said. He added that a combination of legal challenges and popular protest, not least by Muslims themselves, was dampening the impact of the Islamophobe movement. There has been a healthy mobilization of the Muslim community who are becoming more engaged and less apologetic, especially second-generation Muslims. They are more determined to demand their rights, he said. Regardless of whether it is politically correct or not, the law of the American land is what should be followed and maintained. There is no room for anything else. Any other laws that attempt to either usurp or interfere with American laws should be deemed illegal, as it creates a problem with cross-jurisdiction issues.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more top breaking news updates. Thank you.